Saints. Set to go now in Week 6 of the NFL season, and we are underway on EA Sports. This is fielded a couple yards deep. And the decision to bring it out, a good one, as he's up a yard or two shy of the 30. And here come the Saints for their opening drive. They're led out by their 6-foot quarterback. You may have heard of him. From Purdue, it's Drew Brees.
Not sure what you thought, but I thought it was appropriate when he walked into our meeting with his arm totally encased in ice, because he threw 5 touchdown passes last week and won the NFC Offensive Player of the Week award.
Yeah, but reading the paper this morning, and he said, gosh, I actually thought I should have got 6 or 7. But still, it was an amazing performance a week ago.
Boy, I'll tell you what, if he thought he should have had 6 or 7, that's a guy's an absolute perfectionist, not just greedy.
Now a nice play defensively on first down as this is knocked away and incomplete. Let's get a quick look at the Saints offense.
The steal in the 2017 NFL Draft had to be running back Alvin Kamara out of Tennessee, who ended up being that year's NFL Offensive Rookie of the Year. Split time with Mark Ingram his first 2 years in the league. With Mark Ingram now in Baltimore, it's his show.
Ted Ginn's gonna go. 20, 10, touchdown, New Orleans. Ted Ginn, his 3rd touchdown now on the year. And they are able to strike first here on their opening drive. Well, if they didn't get the wake-up call before the game, they got it right now. 2 plays already in the end zone.
I think of it in boxing terms, because whether it's a big shot with your first one or a probing one, a little bit of a jab, the second one was the payoff. That was the big one that landed. 1-2, end zone.
Will Lutz on for the point after. And it's good as the Saints have a 7-0 lead. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. Fielded about a yard deep. And he'll wind up getting an extra couple yards here for his trouble as he'll bring this one out to the 27. So here's the first drive now for the Jags. They'll be led out by Dak Prescott, the 135th pick of the draft back in 2016 from Mississippi State.
And I'll bet he's talking to his guys about resisting the temptation to try and turn this into an up-and-down game. Almost like basketball, where both teams press, and one team gets an advantage, our team's trying to run with them, and they're just not equipped for it. Doesn't matter whether you're equipped or not. Just settle in, get calm before you go for the big strikes.
Now Armstead. Marcus Davenport there to take him down.
They tried a quick hitter. Inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
On the RPO, Prescott's going to keep it himself. A throw left side complete to his receiver, Westbrook. And they'll get this well past midfield before being stopped just before the 35. 33 yards that time.
It's not a surprise when you read scouting reports and watch tape, because you know he's a heck of a player. But he is so difficult to get down in the open field. They just want to get him the ball and let him do his thing.
So how about that for a chain mover? They're all the way down inside the 40 now for 1st and 10. They'll go with their leading rusher from a season ago. This is Aaron Jones. And he works it past the 30, almost to the 25. This game not quite as good as the last, but still over 40 yards between the two.
Tremendous blocking by the interior of the offensive line. They didn't just gash him there. They blasted a gaping hole for him to gallop through. I think if he comes back to the huddle, he better be giving them a whole lot of credit and thanking them for that much space to rumble.
And this will leave him a yard short. Nice pickup of 9 yards on first down. The previous run, good for 9. Here's second and a yard. And they'll lose yardage here. Knocked back to the 19-yard line.
I like the idea to mix it up from time to time because, let's face it, you can't be predictable. But the execution was a little lacking on this one, right? They might want to go back to the drawing board with that call.
They'll try and run for it with Jones. And this one goes nowhere. Losing yardage back at the 22. Nothing doing on second and third down after that 9-yard gain on first. Up front, the struggles continue for this offense among the line. What can they do? Change the play calling? What?
I think part of that, yes, changing some of the play calls, some screens, some draws, some misdirection. You want to run any type of a play that will influence these guys and continue to get upfield and find a way to use that against them and slip things in behind them. So some quick passes could work as well.
This is fielded a couple yards deep. And he'll take this up past the 20 and down at the 22-yard line. Back out onto the field now comes the New Orleans offense. They had the touchdown on the opening drive of the ball game. It was countered by just a field goal. So, hey, if your guys can do that for 4 quarters, you're in good shape.
Yeah, it is a team game, so that's just good complimentary football. But, you know, I know I'm no brainiac, but you trade 6s for 3s, things are going to work out in your favor.
So he can't hang on, and as I watch that unfold, I remembered an expression that I've heard, maybe from you, I don't know, but you're going to get hit anyways, might as well hold on to the ball.
Well, you know a coach said that, right?
Yeah.
Not an actual player. No chance at all. Way easier said than done.
So we'll look here at the key inactives, and we got this list before the game down on the field. They tell us the same thing every time, don't they? Next man up.
No excuses. Be ready to play. That's the mantra of every organization. The key is having guys on the roster who are capable of filling in and playing at a high level. That's when you know you've drafted well, scouted free.
And got his man complete. Past the 20. Touchdown, New Orleans. Drew Brees, his second touchdown pass here in the opening quarter of this game. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. But yes, Michael Thomas is a volume receiver, but he can also make some really big plays, especially with Drew Brees throwing the football.
I love the way you described it. Volume receiver who could also make big plays. In other words, if you underestimate him, he'll run past you or he'll just jump over the top of you and continue to make those big plays.
Lutz will look to add the extra point. And this one's right through to make it a 14-3 ball game. So they only needed 3 plays on that drive. And it ends with a touchdown for New Orleans. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is fielded at the goal line. And he'll take this across the 25. Couple extra yards up to the 27-yard line. Out comes the Jacksonville offense as they get set to take over here. And tough to win games if you're going field goal, field goal, field goal here. They got field goal last time. Now they'll be looking for a touchdown.
Looking for the big chunk now because, as you noted, the field goal way of doing it makes it that much harder. It puts more pressure on every possession for you now. Go ahead and get 6 and feel a lot more comfortable about the position they're in.
Bigger chunks. We'll see if they can get the score. After the pickup of 5, here's 2nd and 5. Now Prescott. Now that'll be tipped and intercepted. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore.
Well, there definitely was some juice on that pass. And while tight ends don't always have the same reputation for hands as wide receivers do, in this case, that ball was expected to be caught.
The Saints offense on the field, ready to get their drive started. And right now they're saying, hey, let's keep this going. 2 drives, 2 touchdowns.
Yeah, can't ask for a better start than that, can you? I mean, this is the way you practice it. This is the way you rehearse it. But right now, the play calling, they're locked in really well. And we see another pitch and catch there to the running back. This position just continues to evolve. They become just as critical to the passing attack as a lot of receivers, tight ends, because their ability to make people miss in the open field can really generate big plays for an offense.
DJ Hayden, the corner, in on the tackle. If this defense wants to stay in this ballgame, they've got to start ending some drives. That helps.
And they have to look ahead at what they expect the offense to do. And right now with that lead, that's run the football. So you don't just stack the line of scrimmage. You have to get upfield and try and make some plays in their backfield.
Defense.
Well, we looked at each other right away. We knew that flag was coming out.
And I always enjoy the conversation post, because officials always tell you, I don't want to throw the flag, but you caused the play. You did it. I had to.
He's got the first down inside the 10, and he's all the way down to the 6-yard line. Another big gainer that time. This one goes for 19 yards. Charles, they won last week despite him not running the ball well. They told us need to get him going. Runs like that help.
And they talked to us about leaning on him because, as you noted, last week they didn't have to. Still won the ball game. They leaned on other people to give them the yardage that they needed, but they really want him to be that guy, and that's what they're doing early in this game.
Be interesting to see now what they do offensively down near the goal line after not much there that time.
As the offensive play caller, that may change your sequence now. Instead of coming right back with a running play.
And he'll take it into the end zone for the Saints touchdown. Ted Ginn with his second touchdown of the game, 4th of the year. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Still first quarter, 2 receiving touchdowns for him. How are they going to slow him down?
I think they're thinking about altering their game plan. Whatever they came in with, now maybe you switch a better cover guy to him. Or you make sure you have more people in his general area wherever he lines up to at least try and discourage them from throwing the ball to him.
Fielded about a yard deep. And this return net's positive as he gets past the 25 and up to the 27-yard line. Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. And he'll look to rebound from the early interception that led to 6 points the other way.
And when he threw the interception and he had to come to the sideline, I'll guarantee his first thought wasn't about the interception itself, but what could result. And I know he was thinking to himself, come on, defense, bail me out. Well, they weren't able to in this situation. Now he's got to go out and atone for it himself, but he can't force things.
On second down now, it's Jones. They get 6 here after the incompletion, and it'll leave them with a 3rd and 4.
Despite the blitz, they're still able to pick up a nice, solid game. The disadvantage of blitzing often alters the normal spacing and run fits, and these creases like they were able to exploit right there.
And he will have a first down here at about the 40. Give him 7 yards on the play as they do pick up the 3rd down conversion. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Second quarter now from Jacksonville, and it's the Jags with the football as they've got it with a 1st and 10. Now a first down carry by Jones. And taking it across midfield and inside the 45. 16 yards that time on the pickup for the Jags and a first down.
Absolutely love the run right there. This guy's known for his quickness, but also for his speed. And he's able to get to the second level almost before you blink if you give him any type of blocking. Always talked about slot receivers, and they're usually known as quicker than fast. In this case, we've got a guy who's quick and fast, and he used it to great advantage. Well, we just saw a great example of what we talked about with his coach prior to the game. He's definitely one of the better linebackers at reading a play and flowing to make the stop before it turns into something big.
But when this ball's tipped and intercepted, picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson.
So that's back-to-back drives where they've thrown an interception. Ordinarily, we look at the offense and say, what's going on with your scheme? Maybe we should look at the defense and just give them a whole lot of credit. They've got them frustrated right now.
Throwing now is Breeze. It's brought in right side by Ginn. 12 yards there, good for a Saints first down.
In his 13th NFL season now, Ted Ginn still a reliable target for Drew Brees. 787 yards in 2017, just 5 games last year due to injuries, but he still has the wheels.
Cook's got it. Touchdown Saints. 4 touchdown passes now for Drew Brees. And the Saints able to stretch that lead out further. Yeah, he is a reliable target. They like to get him involved. They got him involved there for the score.
And they should. He's a very good player. Remember, they can use him in certain positions, so many different spots, and he usually comes through for them.
Lutz with the extra point, and the route is on here in this first half. Morstead out now following the touchdown to kick. This is taken at the 3. And he'll bring it a few past the 20 to the 23-yard line. The Jacksonville offense set to begin their next drive. It's been very much a slow start for them. 3 drives and just the 3 points, CD.
Yeah, if you're into the points per drive ratio, that answer is 1. And that's not going to get it done in a ball game. They've got to find a way to finish these drives in end zones, not having balls go through goalposts.
3 yards on that last carry. Here's 2nd and 7. Prescott now, option right. And no pitch there and no chance either as he's brought down behind the line of scrimmage. He'll wind up losing a yard on the play, and they're going to face a 3rd down.
Let's go, tackle. Let's go. We got this.
On 3rd down, it's Prescott. And that will be incomplete. More problems here on 3rd down. They've converted only once so far in this first half.
And you know as well as I do in this league, if you don't win on 3rd down, it makes it hard to win a ball game because then you're relying on your defense, you're relying on your special teams. You've got to get it done with your offensive unit.
Let's go. Get inside. Let's go.
The offense now at the line, ready for their next drive. They are just putting things together so well here, drive after drive. They really have captured the momentum, haven't they? Rush coming, and he's taken down. That's Yannick Ngakoue with a sack.
Brandon, if I'm an offensive coordinator and I see an all-out rush like that, I file it away because I'm going to use their aggressiveness against them as this game goes on. I'm going to hit them with a screen soon.
On 2nd down, Kamara. And not a whole lot to speak of there as they'll bring him down shy of the 20. Miles Jack there to make the tackle. And with a 3rd and 13 here, the defense in a dime look. From the gun, it's Breeze. Jaguar pressure and a Jaguar sack. Josh Allen in there to drop him for a 6-yard loss, and that will lead to 4th down.
Well, maybe that can give him a little bit of a pick-me-up, a little bit of a jolt. One of the few things that's gone right defensively.
Because other than that, it's really been a first half to forget. That's pulled in at the 32. Give him 11 yards that time on the return. And the Jaguars go on offense, 1st down and 10. Meanwhile, checking in on what's going on in Baltimore. And it's the Ravens that have moved out to an early advantage. That one tight to this point, and you'd have to imagine it'll stay tight throughout. Jones. It was P.J. Williams that time on the tackle.
I call that play a success. A nice inside run sets up a very manageable second down, a very solid gain on that play.
On second down, it's Jones. He's got the first down and more inside the 40. That one good for 33 and a first.
Exactly what they needed right there, because they needed to use the ground game to take some pressure off, because the quarterback's been struggling a little bit.
So a big play as it gets him all the way down to the 20 now for 1st and 10. And they'll get to him just inside the 15. Even after the strong run we just saw, they're able to corral him quickly defensively.
A 6-yard pickup brings up 2nd and 4 at the 14-yard line.
2 minutes remaining in this first half of football. A reminder, once we hit halftime, as we do all season, we'll send it down to Jonathan Coachman in Orlando. He'll have all the stats and scores from games in progress around the... Oh, Prescott stripped, and this is picked up by the Saints. And he brings it back to right around the 26-yard line. A little careless with the football, and he also had a fumble loss last week, didn't he?
He certainly did, and when I'm watching him play, the one thing that comes to mind is always remember, traffic, turbulence, people around you, 2 hands. Get 2 hands on the ball. Grip it tight. I know it looks cool to have it in one hand, but put it away, tuck it away, because you've got to take care of the ball.
Now the first play of the drive there is incomplete.
That's very well timed there defensively, because it's not a bad throw, but the collision came at the exact time he was reaching to bring in the football. Really, really well done.
Decent offense, just better defense. I think you're right. Throwing again on 2nd and 10. Breeze. And that one got tipped. Kind of threw everything off. It brings up 3rd. The Saints on 3rd down. They've been okay. 2 for 3 thus far. This is 3rd and 10. Breeze leaves this one with Kamara. And they're going to get him down well short of the first, as he can only get this to the 30. The Jaguars going to go ahead and use their first timeout, as they'll head to the sideline and talk over what to do next. Here's Thomas Morstead now, as he'll punt it away for the 2nd time. This is brought in at the 21. It'll be a 48-yard punt. 5 there on the return. And that will come the offense as they take over. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. And he's having himself a little bit of a banner game. His team right now, though, losing.
Needs a little bit of help. And I kind of equate it to a basketball game where you have the big score, and sometimes your strategy is, okay, he can go ahead and have all of his points. Let's hold down everyone else, and that's the way you win the game. And right now, he needs everyone else to start scoring, quote-unquote, as he's been.
Yeah, and he's hoping to keep it close so maybe they can keep it on the ground, not start to go through the air as much. Now, meanwhile, a pass that should have been intercepted, but it winds up falling incomplete. So line of scrimmage still the 39 on 2nd and 10. Prescott. And this one's incomplete. He was in search of his tight end, Tyler Higbee, and it'll bring up 3rd down.
This defense has been very disruptive early on as they force another one to go awry.
Seems to be the front and the back end. Pass rush, they've been able to get home, and they're taking the ball away in coverage as well. And for the 3rd time here in this half, it's intercepted. Picked off by a former first-round pick, Patrick Robinson.
Well, I tell you, Brandon, this ball's intercepted, but it is 3rd down. So the silver lining is that since this is so far down the field and there wasn't a big run back associated with it, really this kind of works like a punt. It's not an altogether bad result.
So after the INT, it's Breeze. He throws and he hits the slant route to Thomas. 7 yards, the pickup on the pitch and catch. 3 receivers head out right, 1 to the left on 2nd and 3. Breeze now to throw. And this is caught. I think he got that with one hand. And this play will be blown up. He'll lose yardage back at the 38. This will be a 2-yard loss on the play. And that'll bring up a 3rd down. And this will probably be the last play of the quarter. So we've come to halftime after a very one-sided beginning to this one. As we now go downstate to Orlando and check in with Jonathan Coachman with our EA Sports Halftime Report.
All right, Brandon, thanks. A few teams starting to rise to the top as it's time to take you around the NFL here in Week 6. Lastly, let's check on one final game for you. And you can see they are scoreless as they play the second quarter. In our game, it was the right arm of Drew Brees that led the way in the first half. He's thrown for close to 200 yards already, and that's helped propel his guys into the lead. As we send you back to Brandon Gaudin.
You want the third quarter already? No problem. Let's do it. Both teams appear ready for the fight ahead, and we resume action here in quarter number 3. This is fielded a couple yards deep. They'll bring it back to just about the 25, call it the 24-yard line. Now Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. And he's looking to take much better care of the football here in half 2 after 3 first-half interceptions.
We don't have to just look strictly at the numbers here. You know what else happens to a team when you turn it over 3 times like that? It erodes confidence in you. And it erodes confidence in the offense. And now you have the defensive guys looking over and saying, what is going on here? And instead of playing for the team, they're playing angry and mad at their teammates.
And he's brought down, getting this one up to about the 35. It's a first down on a gain of 10.
That's pretty much meat and potatoes right there, wasn't it? Just go right at them and let your big horse charge up the middle. Not too fancy there, was it?
Nothing fancy at all, challenging that defense. And on that go-around, the offense won the challenge. Credit him with a 1-yard gain there to make it 2nd and 9. On second down, it's Jones. And he is met in his tracks behind the line of scrimmage. Officially, it will go as a 1-yard loss, and that's going to lead to a third down.
47 mark, 47. Check, 47.
Prescott from the gun on third. And that is incomplete. Oh, he had a defender right there with him to force that to the ground. And 4th down now coming up.
And we're into the second half now, and this is an offense that continues to struggle to sustain a drive.
Looks like they're just totally out of sync, whether they're running the ball, passing the ball like we saw there. I don't know. The rhythm seems off. Here's Ginn.
Let's go, baby. Let's go.
So here are the Saints to take over. They're on a 3-game winning streak, and right now looking good in this one as well. So Brees going to lead the Saints up here, 1st and 10 at their own 26. They start the drive on the ground. Kamara. And they'll get him down after a pickup of 8, 2nd and 2.
And there we saw one of the downsides of blitzing during a rundown, because sometimes you get out of your gaps. You don't fit the run quite as well because you're headed towards the ball carrier with abandon.
They run it again with Kamara. And to the 42-yard line here and brought down there.
They're trying to show that they can run the ball and protect this lead. Give it to the backs, play a little bit of keep away, don't you think?
And that's probably a good philosophy at this point, going to make that defense stand up and stop them. Off the play fake to Kamara, it's Brees. And the Jags get to him as down he goes. Yannick Ngakoue able to record his 5th sack of the season.
That's his 2nd sack of the game. And the best defensive ends, they do their homework as much as offensive guys do. They know how to beat the offensive lineman across from them, what moves they need to do to set them up. This guy's been pretty good at it all game long.
A 2nd down pass play there, but it's incomplete. And Charles, got to like what this defense has been able to do these last couple of plays.
Yeah, they get the sack on 1st down, then they force the incomplete pass. Now they're just a play away from getting the football right back, but it's a big play. They've got to hold up.
Now a 3rd down throw, but it misses the target, incomplete.
Didn't have a receiver open downfield, and as it turned out, couldn't even find his outlet man because of the coverage. It was way too tight, unable to find anyone open.
Here's Thomas Morstead now as he's on to punt for New Orleans. He steps into this one, and this is a rocket. And this one hits at the one, continues on into the end zone for a touchback. Here's Aaron Jones in the offense trotting back out. And we have seen a decline in the numbers. Where does the fault lie? Just him? Maybe the guys up front? Combination?
Well, as you and I both know, it's almost always a collective deal. But in this case, I think maybe...
Pressure from his right, and he goes down hard, flat on his back. Cameron Jordan make that now 8 sacks for him on the season. So after the sack, they'll come up on a still manageable 2nd and 13. Out of the shotgun, it's Jones. And he is going to be stopped cold behind the line of scrimmage. It'll go as a loss of a yard, and it'll set up 3rd down.
I know the scouting report on him is that he doesn't possess the eye discipline to be an elite linebacker. And what that means is his ability to read, react, and make a play. But on that one, he looked like one of those guys.
47. Hey, check Mike 47. Check Mike 47.
3rd and long for Prescott. He's got the hook up to Lee. And he's got it past the 30 before he's hit and dropped. A Jacksonville first down on a pickup of 17. So they'll come up 1st and 10 now from the 33. From the shotgun, a give to Jones. And he'll be taken down right around the 34 after a pickup of only a yard.
They tried a quick hitter inside, but that one was swallowed up because what they're hoping, those big defensive linemen will take the bait and move laterally and open up a crease that they can run through. Didn't happen on that play.
And this is going to be caught. He won the fight for the football. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 42. Still in search of their first touchdown of the game, but they're on the move. 1st and 10. They'll run it with Jones. Not much there. Maybe a couple as he's taken down at the 40.
Doubling this guy has to be a priority before moving up to the next level because the big fella, he just ate that one alive, just stuffed it. In fact, before the game, he was talking to us, and he's like, hey, these pants make me look fat. And we said, nah, man, you're just a whole lot of guy.
He is at well over 300 pounds. He's a big man. Now play number 7 of the drive as they're looking at a 3rd and 10.
They're running it.
Prescott from the gun. Is going to let this go deep for Lee. Looks to throw, fires right side. And that's going to be incomplete. The coverage too good there. The contact popped the ball free, and it's 4th down.
This defense is continuing to contest every deep ball that is thrown downfield. And, look, it doesn't matter whether you're playing man or zone. Eventually, that becomes man on man, and you've got to trust yourself and go up at that moment of truth and make a play on the football.
Around the NFL, they've gone to the 3rd in Cleveland. And the Browns, they've surged back to take the lead there. And we'll keep an eye on that one as our game goes along here. 4th down, Prescott. And he's taken down here by the Saints. Cameron Jordan. And this defense will take over right near midfield at the 49-yard line.
Now, you know I don't often have sympathy for quarterbacks, but in this situation, I don't know what else he could do. 4th down, so he can't just throw the ball away. He's got to find a way to try and make a play, but the pressure ended up getting to him.
Pressure got to him. Really big sack and a turnover here on downs. 2 yards on the carry there. It'll be 2nd down.
A gain of 2 brings up 2nd and 8 at the 49-yard line.
Again, it's Kamara. And they'll get him down here at about the 42. And he is close to a first down as he's tackled at the Jaguars' 42. And that is going to do it for this 3rd quarter of action. You are watching the NFL on EA Sports.
That's what I do.
Here's Kamara trying to run for it. And I don't think Kamara got there. Looks like they stopped him short. He needed 2, he got 1, and that's going to leave him with 4th down at a yard. This late in the game, Charles, I think you maybe seriously have to think about going for it.
Especially where they are in terms of field position, because this is almost like no man's land. Might hurt your punter because there might not be enough space, maybe too far for your field goal kicker. I'm like the old rule. Possession is 9/10 of the law. Possession is 9/10 of winning the game. Go for it. Get the first down. Close it out.
They're not ready for this, man. They're not ready for this. They still playing soccer.
Now Dak on the option left. They'll start out on the ground with Jones. And he'll be taken down at the 20 after a gain of just 1. Just a yard on the pickup there, and it'll bring up a 2nd and 9.
And that last carry puts him right at 100 yards for the game. So how has he done it? Because he's been patient, followed his blocks, let everything develop, and then burst through for big gains.
And for one of the few times here today, this run's not going to go anywhere. They've called his number a lot this afternoon. You wonder how much tread is left on those tires.
We certainly do, but I always think back to one of my favorite coaches in the NFL. And he used to have a meeting with his running backs every year in the offseason and say, look, as many times as you're going to carry the ball, you should be able to carry it one more time, so make sure you get in shape.
And his pass is intercepted for the 4th time today. Picked off by Marshawn Lattimore. And they're going to set up shop at the 27-yard line.
Well, this defensive pressure has been constant all game long. The pass rush, the coverage, they've all been excellent, and now they'll tack on an interception here as this one continues to slip just further and further out of hand.
Now a 1st down carry. It's Kamara. And he'll get about 4 as he's brought down at the 24. The run got 4. Now they deal with a 2nd and 6.
It's now 2nd and 6 at the 24-yard line.
Well, this is caught by Ginn. And he will lose yardage and be backed up to the 24. It'll be a loss of a yard, and that's going to bring up the 3rd down. On 3rd down, here's Kamara. And they stop him short of the 1st as he can only get to the 20. It's a gain of 5, but it'll lead to a 4th down.
I think we can safely say that those types of plays are the backbone of this offense. We know not every run's going to be a big hitter, but you know they'll take that type of result on each and every attempt.
And Lutz's kick is good. And that will extend their lead even further. So it's 3 more points, and that widens this thing out even further here in the 4th.
And you know in this league, you can never have enough points, but this widens it out, as you said, and now it's all about ball control, isn't it?
This one fielded at the 5. And he'll take it past the 25 and up to the 28-yard line. Dak Prescott of the offense heading back onto the field. And that interception that ended their previous drive likely also ended any shot they had at victory.
Yeah, long road back from here, no doubt about that one. But let's face it, if you're going to go out there and compete, you want to try and end on a strong note, don't you?
Absolutely. It won't end in a victory like you said, but they can maybe take something positive out of this one. Again, it's Jones. And this time not as successful as he'll get back to the line of scrimmage and no more. No gain on the play there, so they're left with a 3rd down and 6. He's having a big game running the football, but that one will hurt the yards per carry a little bit.
Yeah, but the average he's got so far, that's the type of average he wants to take with him to contract negotiations, doesn't he?
And for the Saints here on 3rd down, an extra defensive back on the field. Now Dak on the option left. On 3rd down, here's Jones. And brought down, but not before reaching the 45-yard line. They get the first. The decision to run on 3rd and medium winds up being a good one.
Well, sometimes, Brandon, there's just not a secret to how things get done. He's been running well all game long, and they continue to rely on him in this key situation.
They told us they were going to rely on him. They have. He comes through there, a big 3rd down conversion. They will get 4 yards here on the 1st down run, and that'll make it 2nd and 6. They give him 4 yards there. It'll be 2nd and 6. Following the pickup of 4, here's 2nd and 6. They'll try to throw now. Prescott. And that's going to be incomplete. Too tough to hold on to that one. It's second down. Just nothing there again. He's been sacked multiple times. We've seen the interceptions, of course. He's really been through the ringer, hasn't he?
And what we've seen is a defense is well coordinated. The front and the back really in sync. The front putting on the pressure. The backside being ball hawks and picking passes off.
He sets up the screen to Jones. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 41-yard line. Offense for them has been at a premium. You wonder where plays like that have been all game long.
They're thinking the exact same thing themselves, but they're also looking forward now because now these plays are really for next week, trying to get some momentum going.
So it's Jaguar football here as we welcome you back. They've got a 1st and 10 as they search for a late score. Here's Prescott, and that is incomplete.
Brandon, at least there's one bright side to that incompletion.
What's that?
It wasn't an interception.
Wow. you're a nice guy. That was kind of savage. But correct. No pick, just incomplete that time. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 29-yard line.
Now that was pretty. They executed that curl route versus zone coverage, and that changes things a little bit because against man, it's often a tight curl, tight, sharply run route. Against zone, you're just looking for that open spot, that dead area, so you may curl it a little bit wider just to get to that place.
And usually a tight window. He fired a bullet in there for the completion. So they had the big loss on that first down pass play and facing a 2nd and long. Now left side, a completion to his tight end. And this is going to be another first down as the tackle's made at the Saints' 19.
When this offense can get their tight ends involved, they can move the football. Here, a nice route, able to look it in, and picks up the first down.
And a good gain here of 9 from the 19 down to the 10.
Not too many offenses want to turn down long drives, but when you're down what they are, they've got to pay it off with some points.
On 2nd down, Armstead. And he is met quickly in the backfield. Down he goes, folded like a lawn chair. So this